By Samardzija, inside the 20, inside the 10, he's going in! Notre Dame has scored!
Go! You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal!
Notre Dame is relevant again.
The 20, the 10, fire, rocket, touchdown!
Notre Dame is number one!
It's a game of who's going to flinch first. We know that isn't going to be Notre Dame.
Moving along here, number 12 Notre Dame will travel for the first time since October 7th at Louisville and face a struggling 4-4 Clemson Tigers team. The 4-4 Tigers are having a very rough season from the beginning. They lost 28-7 on a Monday night at Duke. They beat Charleston Southern 66-7. They beat Florida Atlantic 48-14, and then they fell at home 31-24 to number 4 Florida State in overtime. They beat Syracuse on the road 31-14. They beat Wake Forest in a slugfest 17-12. And then they fell 28-20 in 2 overtimes at Miami. And then they would lose 24-17 last week at NC State. It is the first time that Clemson has lost back-to-back games since 2011 when they fell at NC State and at South Carolina. Guys, I think Dabo has lost this team if he even ever had them, Logan.
Yeah, they are the definition of fugazi, dumpster fire, shit show, clown show, lack of talent and ability to buy in.
Jar. The Ball State jar.
Yeah. It sucks because you look at this game and you look at the Notre Dame schedule before where you
This
go
was
in.
supposed to be the marquee matchup.
Yeah, this was supposed to be another resume builder with Ohio State and along with USC, who
Fugazi.
crazy. And that's where like all these schedule conversations came into play. Like you didn't know about Duke and Louisville being pretty solid this year, but then you also don't anticipate Clemson being a 4-4 team in Week 10 and USC, on a downward spiral as well. So it's college football at its best.
Yeah, why we love it.
I like where we're at. Like I said, I would like to see us build off of what we've done up to this point. Defense is playing at an extremely high level. Golden is kind of just letting those guys fly around, it seems like, and it's working out.
It is.
Obviously, this will be a more talented team that we will have played. Obviously, Clemson still recruits at a high level. They have a lot of talent
Right.
at roster, so it's not a gimme, show up, and half-ass it, and we still win. I don't think that's the case. We got to come in here ready to go. Especially someone who's trying to win and get out of that losing streak that they're on.
We know what's on your mind. JR, this Clemson team, they have a lot of offensive struggles, minus the 3 blowouts. You look at their losses and 1 win, 7 points, 24 points, 17 points, 20 points. That's 13 in regulation, by the way, against Miami, and 17 points against Wake Forest. They have 259 pass yards per game, 157 rush yards per game. This is the worst season, the worst Clemson team since 2008, Dabo's first season when they started 4-5. I mean, it baffles me that he let it get to this point. It's Clemson. I mean, I did not expect this from Clemson.
Again, sign of the times, portal. He's kind of old school in his recruiting roots. But you guys, this is only a 1-point spread here. Notre Dame's favored by 1, I think, as of this morning.
Moved up to 3 on the clock.
Okay. That's
Still,
a field goal game.
Right?
Yeah. So, again, they can erase a lot of bad memories this year by beating Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
That could make a lot of things right with a lot of people. And looking at it from a matchup standpoint, both weaknesses of each team play directly into the strengths of the other. Mm-hmm. They're weak on offense. That plays into our strength of our defense. we're weak on offense. That plays into the strength of their defense.
Mm-hmm.
So odds are, if you just kind of shake it up and put all that in a bowl together, it's probably going to be a close game. So this is going to put the spotlight again on, can we execute? Are we going to be well coached? Are we going to be least penalized? Are we going to make sound decisions in short yardage and in the red zone? We put up 38 offensively on the board last week against Pitt, but I don't think that's going to be the case this week. So it's still they're 4-4. They got their issues. They're certainly not 8-0.
Right.
But I wouldn't expect us to go down there and just handle them like we did NC State, which now maybe NC State, maybe they're a little better than we thought. Louisville, that's turning out not to be such a horrible loss.
They're going to be playing for an ACC title.
Yeah, so it's an odd college year, but the strengths and the weaknesses of both opponents really match up towards each other, and I think this is probably going to be a closer game than maybe most Notre Dame fans would think or maybe would agree right now.
I agree. I do agree with that, and Logan does too. I see him nodding his head down there. The last time that Clemson lost 3 in a row was in 2010 when they fell at Auburn, at home to Miami, and at North Carolina. Now, JR, you mentioned, Clemson not being, with one win, they could erase all the bad from what they've had this year. I remember a game early in November when a struggling team that was playing for a lot faced Clemson, and that was last year at Notre Dame Stadium. There was a lot that went wrong last year for Notre Dame. It wasn't impressive at all. We were a struggling football team on that November 5th day. Clemson still had a lot to play for. We beat the snot out of them 35-14. This year, the roles are reversed. We come into their place. We have a lot to still play for. We're playing for a New Year's Six bowl. We don't want to go to a Who Cares bowl. They're struggling, I think this is going to be the last test for Notre Dame. The last test. How can we handle, going on the road, the toughest environment we've played in this season, in my opinion, regardless of their record, it's going to be Clemson. Clemson's Clemson, guys. How can we handle this test on the road in the spot that we're in compared to the spot that Clemson is in? I don't know. I like Clemson's spot a lot right now.
Yeah, and that points to the line. So this will you have to lean on your coaching and your leadership and your seniors here. So it's late in the year, a lot of goofiness happens. We're going on the road. Is this a nooner?
Nooner. Good morning.
Nooner. It's an early start. We're on the road. What's the weather going to be like down there?
Sunny and 65.
Okay, so Hurricane BK is not rolling through. We're not going to try and throw, 50 passes in a driving rainstorm like we did, years back.
15. Yep.
Yeah, it was like a monsoon we were playing in. So okay, that's good, but again, it's still Notre Dame, man. Like, look at it from their perspective. They don't care what their record is. Notre Dame's coming into town. They can take care of a lot of bad tastes in their mouth, and they can erase a lot of things just by beating us. And they're still trying to get bowl eligible too. I mean, they got things to play for. Maybe they do want to go to the who nobody cares bowl, the Nunya Bowl.
I love to say that. This series has really heated up lately. I would personally love to play Clemson on a yearly basis, or maybe every other year, home and home series and that. In 1977 was the first meeting. Notre Dame won 21-17 at Clemson, and then in 1979, Clemson wins 16-10 at Notre Dame, and then in 2015, you guys remember at Clemson in the back end of a hurricane. Again, BK tries to have Deshaun Kaiser, who's only making his third start as a quarterback, throw the ball. We were down 24-0. We came back.
One.
Yeah, we were down 24-0. We came back and made it 24-22. Had a chance to tie it at the end, but we did a RPO, Kaiser decided to keep it and just didn't even get close. In 2018, the College Football Playoff Cotton Bowl, Clemson wins it 30-3. We all know how that turned out. In 2020, the regular season, Notre Dame finally wins over Clemson 47-40 in 2 overtimes at home. And in the 2020 ACC championship, Trevor Lawrence just absolutely shreds the Irish. He had Notre Dame down 34-3, and the final score ended up being 34-10. And in 2022, Notre Dame wins at 35-14 at home. Few notes on Clemson before we get to the keys of the game. They are 97-9 at home since 2008. They have not lost 3 straight since 2010. It's a high magnitude game for them. This is their Super Bowl. I am a little worried. We're coming off of 2 fantastic wins, and the last time we were on the road, we laid an egg and lost 33-20. I'd be lying if I said I was not worried, Logan.
Yeah, I don't think you could claim it as their Super Bowl, though. I think that's getting a little overplayed. I mean, obviously they're excited to play Notre Dame, but over the last 5 to 7 years, Clemson has been the better football program overall and has accomplished more than we have.
What I meant was this season, not obviously their statement.
So, I think it is a big game. I do agree with you that they're going to be ready to go, but at the end of the day, the way we're playing and who we've played up to this point, we should beat this team. And there should be question marks after. So it is a tough spot. Vegas is scared. So that's always interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you're the better team. I would argue that you're the better coach team. And defensively, you're better. So obviously, a lot falls on our offense. It'll be interesting to see our special teams as well. So
interesting. You think Freeman's better than Dabo?
In the modern era, yeah.
Okay. That's that in a modern era. That's a fair point, Logan. We'll move into the keys to the game. We'll start with JR.
So there have been a few. Well, my key to the game is another. You can't start slow. You can't go 3 and out. You can't turn the ball over early on the road. If we're going to do those things, we're going to be in a dogfight. So we need succession early on. We need to get out to a lead because I don't want to be in that environment playing from behind. So I'd like to get out to a lead. I think that's my biggest key.
Mm-hmm. Logan? Go ahead.
So, in the games that Hartman has struggled this year for Notre Dame, the telecast throughout that game usually shows what Hartman has done against that team statistically throughout his career. And I think he had not fared well against Pitt either. And he didn't play very well against Pitt. I'm interested to know what Sam Hartman's numbers are against Clemson. Now, I think he lit Clemson up last year.
He did.
Didn't they win in overtime and they lost. But he lit them up in like a really high scoring game, right?
It was 40. It was in the high 40s.
Okay. That's another thing. These coaches, they know who Sam Hartman is. So we need Hartman to play well. We need Hartman to play really, really well. He needs to finish the year out strong. I think he's playing for a lot. He's got, he's playing for paychecks. So it's important to get out to a fast start and Hartman to play well early on. I look for him to go to Thomas and Mitchell early. Big targets.
It was 51-45 last season in overtime, and the year before that it was 48-27 Clemson. But Sam Hartman did put up some good numbers in those games as well. So both games he kind of torched Clemson, throwing for a lot of yards. He did throw a lot of picks though in those games. One of the games is the game he got hurt, actually. So Logan, key to the game.
Yeah, I think we have to win the turnover battle. Saw Louisville, you turn it over 5-6 times and, you lose and get blown out. So winning the turnover battle, I like where our special teams is at. Obviously, here I think I was a little underwhelmed, to say the least. So I think field position and what we can do if we're able to make some plays, in that special team segment, that would be big for us. So that's what I'm going to rock with.
My key to the game is setting the tone early. You look at Louisville, we threw a pick on the first drive after we were driving the field pretty well. We throw a pick and the whole game turns upside down. Setting the tone for this game is going to be my key to the game. I want to start off hot. I want to start off with a touchdown. I don't want a field goal. Field goals get you beat. It's not how the game's supposed to be played.
By Samaja, inside the 20, inside the 10. He's going in. Notre Dame has scored.
Go, 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 go.
You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal.
Notre Dame is relevant again.
The 20, the 10, 5-5 rocket touchdown.
Notre Dame is number one.
It's a game of who's going to flinch first. We know that it won't be Notre Dame.